Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Amanda Kravitz, and I'm the Marketing Coordinator here at Abacus Next. Today, I have Andy Cummins here with me, and he'll be showing us how to use Abacus Payment Exchange. The webinar will be approximately 30 minutes total, with a 20-minute presentation followed by a 10-minute Q&A session. Please feel free to insert your questions into the GoToWebinar control panel throughout the presentation, and we'll answer them at the end. Without further ado, I'll let Andy take it away.
Great, thanks very much, and thanks everyone for taking some time out today to participate in the webinar. We're going to talk about Abacus Payment Exchange, or APX, as we call it. We're going to do a quick overview here. We're going to do a bit of comparison just so you can appreciate what APX is all about. Then we want to jump in and do a demo, and you can see actually how to sign up for APX and actually handle some payments. So let's start out with what is APX. Really, we talk all about its payments made easy. So what we have here is a secure credit card and ACH payment processing tool. The idea is this is now integrated inside of Amicus Attorney, and we can handle any of your payments as well as trust receipts. The idea is any of your credit cards, so Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, or any of your ACH. So if you have a client's account and routing number, we can have direct withdrawals as well. The idea here is what we're looking to do is simplify your life, make it easier for you to collect the funds from your clients, and ultimately spend more of your time actually dealing with the practice of law rather than sort of looking after collections. So what we're going to look at today is when we say payments made easy, it's really on a couple different levels. One is that the sign up is super easy. So we're going to show you how to do that in just a second. The second part is really the pricing is really easy. In that compared to other credit card payment processors out there that may have all kinds of different fees and such, really simple with APX. The idea is it's really just 3% for all of your credit card transactions, 0% for all ACH or e-check withdrawals. The idea is there's no contract to sign, however, so you're not tied in. There's no cancellation fee should you wish to move to something else. There's no monthly fees. So the idea is if you're not using it for any kind of period of time, you're not dinged for that. No per transaction fee, and there's also no minimum. So you can choose to process any size transactions you wish and know that you're always paying the same amount for those. So really straightforward. And the idea here is that what we're talking about is the fees themselves are deducted from your operating account. So the idea is your client is still paying their $100 bill, and those fees are then deducted from that $100. So we can talk about that a bit further as well. But what I also want to talk about is what sets APX apart. So there's other credit card payment processors out there, and again, what I want to stress here is one, this is really straightforward in terms of pricing. Some of our competitors have a low advertised rate, for instance, but when you calculate all of their additional fees that are on top of that, like a cancellation fee, security fee, PCI compliance fee, they really add up. That we actually had a client who sent us their current statement for a competitor processor that they had an advertised rate of 2.5%, and when we actually did the math, they were paying closer to 7%. So the idea is really straightforward. You always know what you're actually going to be charged within APX. And of course, we can handle both your trust and operating accounts. And then, of course, any transactions deposited into trust always remain whole. So any fees associated with those transactions would come out of your operating account. And just before we just jump into a demonstration here, I want to talk about, obviously, the uptake for APX has been great. And now with the introduction of the latest version of Amicus Attorney, we're now able to, we've seen a big jump in our Amicus Attorney users. So that's what we're going to jump in and look at today, and that is how do we actually use Amicus Attorney to work with APX. So we're going to talk about the onboarding wizard. A couple things I just want to say right off the bat is, of course, you need to upgrade to the latest version of Amicus Attorney. So if you have not yet upgraded to Amicus Attorney 20, I encourage you to do so now. Not only do you have access to then APX, but a bunch of other great new features, including access to the mobile app. So please make sure that you do upgrade or have your firm upgrade to the latest version ASAP. So let's jump in right now and take a look at how we actually sign up for APX. So I'm logged in my demo environment here. I'm actually in as Lucy, and Lucy is an administrator, so she has access to this option here called Firm Settings. So clicking on the Firm Settings, I can go in and sign up. And again, when we're talking about how easy this is different than some other payment processors out there in that maybe you fill out a form and have somebody call you back in a couple days. What we're actually able to do right from within Amicus Attorney is handle the onboarding. So we're actually able to capture the necessary information and start the underwriting process as a part of a nice wizard, such that within 24 to 48 hours, you can be up and running and handling your, basically accepting credit card and ACH transactions for when your clients want to pay their bill. So let's jump in, and under the settings here, we're going to go to APX. So Abacus Payment Exchange here. We've got a nice arrow just to help point us along here. And it simply brings up an option to learn more. So we just click the Learn More option. And this is now going to start us through a nice little wizard where we can learn more about it. We can scroll down to see additional details. Just press Get Started here up at the top. And basically, we're going to ask for 3 panes of information. We're looking at your basic details, your personal info, and account details. But because we're coming at this from your Amicus Attorney, we already have a bunch of this information. So we're able to pre-fill much of this for you. And you can, of course, make any changes as necessary. So we've got your contact details, basics about your firm address. If you have a different address that's for legal purposes, we track that. The next pane is the personal information. And this is now the information we're going to want for one of the firm members who's actually authorized to access your bank account information. Because as a part of this wizard, we're going to ask you to enter in some information such that we can take those credit card payments from your clients and have those deposited directly into your firm's bank account. So we're asking for some information here, which we aren't going to pre-fill. You can go and put the necessary information in here. And then when you're ready to proceed, you can just click on Account Details or simply click on to Next. And it's going to take you now to the account details. So here's where we're looking to capture the bank account information. So this is the operating account, and as well as optionally a trust account. So if you choose to accept trust transactions, then we can also set up the bank account information for the trust account. You can, of course, choose not to do so and add that at a later date. But of course, most of our law firms do need to be able to record those trust transactions as well. And of course, if you needed to find that information and come back, the next time you come into the wizard, we would be able to save whatever you had already entered in and then pick up where you left off. So if you don't know that at the top of your, if you don't know the routing number right off the top, then you can certainly find that information and move on. And now it's the next pane. What we're actually able to do here is we're going to start the underwriting process. And this is our partners Advantage are actually taking the information that we've submitted in the first 3 panes, and they're going to ask some questions that only the person who filled in that personal information would generally be able to answer. So this is sort of the know your client. So we're going to ask some questions, and they would need to be answered, obviously correctly, to finish the approval process. But the idea here is we're able to verify that the person is who they say they are, and simply click Continue. It now shows we've got set up our operating account and our trust account and the fees associated with each. If we scroll down to the bottom, we can simply click I agree. And just like that, we have now signed up for APX. So we can simply close that window right now, and we're taken back to Amicus Attorney. We then get 2 email messages, or the firm would get 2 email messages. One, you'd receive one immediately following the submission of your application, essentially, to say, hey, we've received it, and the underwriting is proceeding. And the next one you would get that actually would say, hey, your account has been created, and here's the welcome aboard, just to sort of let you know some transaction limits for this particular account that we've gone and created. But the idea is very little work on your part. You can go and fill in the necessary information. Behind the scenes, we go, and once that account has been approved, if you go back here to the Abacus Payment Exchange option, it now allows you to choose the operating and trust account information, because as you know, within Amicus Attorney, the billing capabilities, you can go and set up multiple bank accounts, and we want to basically map these for the purposes of Amicus Attorney. So just like that, we've gone and now signed up for APX. So we're able to now go and obviously you can use Amicus Attorney to track your time entries and record your expenses and then bill for those. So you send out the bill to the client and you now want to go and collect those fees. So I'm going to show you how to make a payment and also how to go in and on a contact actually manage the payments that if we've already gone and stored their credit card information here. The idea here is that if we just go to people, if we open up our client Janet Bailey, and if under actions we can click method. The idea here is this allows us to record the credit card information for Janet Bailey so that we can go and run that for future transactions. Now, it's important to understand that you're not actually storing this credit card information within your Amicus Attorney. It is stored as a part of APX, which is PCI compliant, so you don't need to worry about storing credit card information. That is stored securely as a part of APX, and you know that it's well protected. So if we wanted to go and add another payment method, we can simply click onto the Add button here, and this allows us to fill in the necessary information for either a credit card transactions, whether that's a Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover, or even a Visa debit or MasterCard debit. You could enter in that appropriate information here and choose to submit that. Well, of course, we're able to go and pre-fill some of this information too because we already have the basics about Janet Bailey on her contact card in Amicus Attorney. Now, the same thing if we wanted to do an e-check or ACH transaction, and this, of course, would require that we have both the account and routing number information for the client. So they would need to provide that to us, and we can then simply enter that in and press the submit option here. So that allows us to go and save payment methods for reuse in future. That was obviously pretty straightforward. But let's actually now go to the process of recording a payment. So let's go and we want to have our client pay us for their invoice, and we'll quickly go and demonstrate that. Okay, so right off the bat, we're back into Amicus. We're in as Lucy. We're going to go to the billing module here, and if we go to files, we can see all the files where they actually have money owed. So we have $800 here under Bailey Rekipling that we wanted to collect. So we can just click on the little drop-down menu here, choose Receive Payment, and of course it then brings up the payment form within Amicus Attorney. But you'll notice with the addition of APX, there's a couple of new options at the top. So we can choose a method, and we can choose to, now you've got options for credit card payments APX as well as ACH payment APX. And what you'll notice is when we select one of those, we now can see any of those stored payment methods that we've recorded for this client. And that may be a credit card one, or if I go into the ACH, I can see the bank account information that we've gone and put in. But of course, if I don't know that and I'm just on the phone with Janet and she wants to provide that information to me, I can simply click the Add option here, and it now brings up again that payment form where we can go and put in either the e-check information or the credit card information, and just simply fill that information out. And also, I didn't point out earlier, but this is also key, is that we can go and make sure that Janet receives an email receipt for any transactions that are posted using this payment method. So we just check the box, and of course that is pre-filled with her primary email address as recorded in Amicus Attorney. Okay, so we just simply press submit. We can go in and we've now got our new payment method recorded. If we now add in the amount, so we want to say we're going to pay all $800 of that, and we've checked that it's against one particular invoice, we simply click Pay Now, and this recognizes that we're going to run an $800 charge against that credit card. Are we sure we want to do it? We'll say yes to that, and the payment is then processed, and so their credit card is deducted, and then that money is then obviously deposited into your account. So the important thing to appreciate here too is that Amicus or Abacus Payment Exchange in Amicus Attorney allows us for very quick funding. So nothing like holding on to those client funds for a week before they're deposited into your account. Those can actually be deposited as fast as the next day into your account. So the idea is you're quickly collecting the monies from the client and then able to go and have those recorded within Amicus Attorney. Of course, should you need to go and void a transaction or issue a refund, Amicus attorney can support that as well. So you can simply open up the invoice and show the payment and choose to void that transaction. So if it's happened the same day, you realize that that was in error, you could void that. Of course, if it's after the monies have already been funded, then you would be able to issue a refund and such that those funds would then be reversed and sent back to the client. But as you can see, incredibly easy to go and record those payments and store the payment information in Amicus Attorney itself. Also, some exciting developments coming soon is the ability or adding the APX support into the Amicus Attorney client portal, such that your clients can actually go into the client portal, see their invoice, and choose to pay right from there. So they don't need to go and provide you with the credit card information. They can, in fact, enter it themselves right from the client portal. And that was the really quick and dirty. I had a chance to show off a bunch of it here too. A couple of things I did want to talk about, and that's just to make sure that everybody's sort of clear in terms of what sort of next steps are for you guys. One is that, as I said, you'll want to upgrade to Amicus Attorney 20 and such. So if you've not yet done so, please do. Of course, you do need to be able to take advantage of the billing capabilities within Amicus Attorney, such that you can go and send out invoices and record payments in Amicus Attorney, and that's obviously a key element. And then another question that I often get is explaining to the fees, and that is something I just want to jump in before we address questions, but such that, again, the fees are associated with any credit card transaction, so you pay a 3% for any credit card transactions, and any direct deposit, so ACH or e-check, there is no fee to you whatsoever. And again, those fees are always deducted from the operating account. So even if you're taking in a trust receipt, those funds remain whole in your trust account, and the associated fee would then come out of your operating account. And the fees are not added on to the charge. They are, if the client pays $100, they still only pay $100. And the fee then comes out. So the $100 is deposited into your account, and then the fee is deducted from the operating account. But with that, yeah, your sort of next steps are, once you've upgraded to Amicus Attorney 20, you can go ahead and follow those same quick steps to sign up for APX and start using it. So just like that, it is incredibly simple. But at the end of the day, what this is going to allow you to do is really increase your cash flows. You can certainly cut down on collections. You're not spending the time trying to get people to pay, because you can very quickly go and take the credit card information and process it. And ultimately, those funds are then deposited very quickly into your account, such that you're not waiting for it. You can move on and worry about the practice of law. So with that, I think we'll wrap it up. I appreciate you spending some time. And if you do have any questions, as we said, please use the panel on the right-hand side to pose those, and I would love to be able to answer any questions that you may have.